Hi, hello everyone. This is Pawan Kumar Mandlori. My software weakness topic presentation is OS command injection. What is OS command injection? OS command injection is the web security visualization to allow the attacker to execute attribute operating system command that server to run the application, typically fully compromise the application in the data. Very often, an attacker can leverage our OS injection vulnerability to composition of other parts of hosting infrastructure, exporting the trust relationship to provide the attacker to often others within the organization. Actually, unlikely the code injection vulnerability which execute when an attacker can submit uh, input to the program and tricks to the software into run the input. A command injection vulnerability exports the weakness of an unreported system with the enable to the extraction and the ability command with having the injection code, but vulnerabilities to aside from the proper input or output data validation. Here we send the data to the full system controller that will be divided into uploaded data like that. Here the figure will be is seeing you. And coming to the next slide, useful commands. Here some useful commands in the OS command injection. Firstly, name of the current user. Here I will take two systems, Linux and Windows. In those systems, we can use these commands from software OS injection, OS injection, OS command injection. They are the operating system command, networking configuration, networking connections, running process. These are all the commands, useful, some useful commands. And coming to the next slide, ways of injection and OS command. A number of character functions and commanding supporting allowing command to the other following commands operator work to both Windows and Unix based systems. Actually, these are four commands we can use in Windows and Unix systems. Like in order to test our application for command injection vulnerabilities, try to enable commands to be together. If you are able to run one command to web application is vulnerability. Other commands injection payload include ping command be belonging with the time delay, so that the command was executed based on time the application taken response to be command will be take 10 seconds to run a response. For that, sometimes the input that would be control appear with the original commands. In some situations they need terminated the content before using symbol shell to inject a new command. And coming to the next slide, how to prevent an OS command injection. Uh, the most efficient way to prevent OS command injection vulnerability is to never call out of OS commands from application layer code. They are very there are some cases there are alternative ways of implementation to required functionality using safe platform APIs. It consists on to the call out of OS commands with users supplied input through the some examples of commands over here. Vulnerability against a whitelist of permitted variables were vulnerabilities that the input is a number, vulnerabilities that the input consists only some characters and a static white space like that. Never attempt in particularly there is just two errors will be vulnerabilities by password skilling attacks. From that we are going to next slide. OS command injection different defense sheet. there are some defense over here to the voice command injection sheet. Actually, for first one, avoid calls, avoid calling voice command directly. Actually, the primary defense to avoid calling voice commands directly, the functions are very good alternative to OS command as they cannot be manipulated to perform tasks over than those it is indicated to do. And second is escape value added to OS commands were specific to each OS. And third one is um, aromatization in conjunction with input validation. If the calling a system command that incorrect users surprised cannot be avoid the following two layers. The defense should be user within software to prevent attacks. Like that, we can handle the defense of OS command injection. And going to the next slide, OS command injection validation uh, vulnerabilities. I can keeps few two examples here of vulnerabilities, OS command injection vulnerabilities. First one is manipulating app home environment vulnerability. Here the some code over here. Actually, here the example for the program to allow remote user to view the content of the file without being able to modify the or delete it. This program runs with with the root OS command injection. Um, Although here the program is, if it only enables to read only access the file, it enables the command injection attacker. If the attacker passes instead of file name as a string like this. And going to the second example, here the second example is the file name as a command argument. Actually, in this file name command argument, the problem is that the code does not validate the content of the script. If the attacker manages to modify the um, different paths within visions of script, the code will be run to the malicious script, the consistent command injection attacker, so that we can handle this the situation. Then next, going to the CVE 2002 200841. The CV is the one of the problem in command um, voice command injection. Mm, the problem is before the problem is 2.0.4 with the API to input case command injection vulnerability. Here the code script for that for the code script for that problem 2.0.4. And going to next slide, how to, he fix that problem. Mm, uh, John Hidden was fixed this problem like the 8.8 to high score with anything attacker yourself being vulnerability that all. He released the fixed with the problem with V2 0.5.5. We use this one, and V2 is the safe self attacker, and also note to the V2 0.3 is the vision that added only supporter. Mm, with V2 0.3 and V2 0.4 are the vulnerables. Uh, this is the one of the fixed problem with John Hidden in CVE 2022 over there. Thank you.